Welcome to today's talk about up-leveling your finances here on NBC's Sheila Mack Show. I'm your host, Sheila Mack, and today we are going to help you reboot your finances and up-level in every area of your life. Again, I'm your host, Sheila Mack, author of the best-selling book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom and back into action in any situation. Well, we have had some situations going around our world right now, especially in our economy. So today we are going to talk about how to get out of debt fast, start a savings fund, even on a budget, and how to use feng shui to turn your junk into money in your trunk. But before we dive into that, let's talk about why it's important to reboot your finances and up level in every area of your life, especially during these interesting times and in such a chaotic economy. Money is a powerful tool, and although money is not everything, it is truly how we buy, save, trade, and care for ourselves, our loved ones, and ultimately it gives us the time and energy freedom to be able to contribute to those less fortunate, to create lasting change and leave a legacy for our world. When you have control over your finances, you have control over your life. Kind of like in yoga, how we do anything is how we do everything. We always say that. I go to yoga almost every day. And when we're on the mat, we always say that because it does. It translates into how we show up in every other area of your life. And just like in yoga, it's your mat that's the concern. Don't look at what everybody else is doing. There's going to be days where you can stretch further and other days where you're a little sore or tight from something else and you can't. There's going to be days where just sitting on that mat and breathing is your yoga. And that's kind of the way it is with finances as well. So when you have control over your finances, you will have control over other areas of your life. You can pursue your dreams, take care of your loved ones, and give back to your community. But when your finances are out of control, it can feel like you're stuck in a rut, unable to make progress.
Are you ready for a reboot? Welcome to the Sheila Mack Show, reality at its finest. History reminds us those hit hardest often become the change makers. This year, we've all hit crazy economic, social, and emotional rock bottoms. We all get knocked down. Something hits globally, locally, personally. It affects our health, finances, our relationships. We have to recreate a business or career. Each show, Sheila and her special guest will be sharing their reboot stories, guiding you with real solutions to upgrade and up-level emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Here on NBC's KCAA Radio. If you're ready to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and bra straps, enjoy a listen. Here's Sheila.
So this is where the Boots formula comes in. That's from my latest book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom back into action in any situation. So the B, the first B, stands for being. Who are you being? This is a crucial question. Who do you need to be to up-level your finances? If you want to attract abundance and prosperity, you need to show up as a person who is already wealthy. That means taking care of yourself, investing in your education and skills, and surrounding yourself with positive influences. The O stands for orientation. It's essential to know where you're starting from and where you want to go. That means creating a budget and tracking your expenses. It may not be glamorous, but it's the first step to financial freedom. The O stands for order of operations. This is the second O in the Boots formula. It's crucial to prioritize your needs and focus on what's important. That means getting your needs met first, even if that means selling things, getting a second job, or reorganizing your expenses for a bit. The T stands for thinking. Your mindset is critical to success. If you live in a scarcity mindset, you'll create more scarcity. Instead, focus on abundance and gratitude. Be grateful for what you have and focus on what you want to create. That's right. What do you want more of? What do you want to create more of? What are you moving towards, not away from? This is really an important step. That thinking mindset is going to make all the difference. Now, the final step is the S in the Boots formula, and that is for stepping up. You have to be willing to step up out of your comfort zone and take action. That means taking risks, pursuing your dreams, and believing in yourself. Now, let's take a moment and talk about the practical tips for rebooting your finances and upleveling your life. If you want to get out of debt fast, the first step is to stop digging yourself deeper into the hole. That means cutting back on unnecessary expenses, focusing on your needs, and avoiding debt traps like credit cards. Now, there is some interesting things going on today where, the card companies are giving you these free offers, zero interest for so long, pay it over so many months. I believe Amazon has that program, and PayPal. And if you know what I'm talking about. And it sounds great, but then if you look at the fine print, you're going to be paying 30, 40 or more percent interest on those little deals before you know it, and it's just kind of prolonging the pain. And there, in our economy and with our inflation being as crazy as it is, that means that for the short term, in order to have long-term success, you may have to figure out a way to get extra cash flow, if that's a side job, a side gig, a second job, selling things, um, creating things, whatever it is, whatever it takes. And it may be a short term, but it's way better than the long term pain of getting into more debt. And it's not only going to help you to get out of the debt you're in, but it's also going to help you build um, a good foundation for either investing, buying a home, or investing in some type of product, service, or other that's going to create you some passive to semi-passive income that will over time keep you debt free, get you through your retirement, let you retire earlier, and give you the life you want. Now, everybody's life that you want is going to look different. Your picture of success or happiness is different than the next door neighbor's, and it is probably very different than mine. So you have to create this lifestyle reboot, this lifestyle design on your terms, and it's got to be you that create that picture of what you desire to have in your life, and giving yourself that time to put the thinking into action, taking time to use a journal, use a planner, track your expenses and your income and your goals so that you know why you're doing what you're doing and how long you need to maybe do that extra side thing or whatever it is that you're going to do to make up the difference in the short term to have long run and long term success. Now, next, you need to start savings, a savings fund even on a budget. If you are working or have decided to get an extra job or side job right now, um, that's that's not bad. I mean, some of these companies do some really nice 401k matching that's pretty amazing. And I know lots of people that have gone back and taken a job or a side job or part time or something that offers some benefits just to enjoy some extra savings and to have that matching fund and to rebuild things a little bit. It is essential to have that emergency fund. And there was a study that said that most Americans, I think it's like 60 to 78%, depending on what study you look at, of Americans don't have $1,000 in their emergency fund. And that's like anything nowadays. It could be an emergency trip to the vet. It could be an emergency it could be your HOA telling you you have to chop down your trees, which is ridiculous, but trust me, this has happened. Um, and and you have to go and pull out an extra whatever thousand or more to pay for some ridiculous thing that you did not plan for. um, it could be a dishwasher, it could be tires on the car, or battery, or some other thing that needs your attention, the medical situation, whatever, and there it's all gone. So having that buffer, growing that buffer is going to help, because there is, you turn around, they raise taxes, they raise property taxes, they raise your rent, they if you're renting, there's always some surprise little something that's an easy thousand. So saving up is going to give you control, it's going to give you leverage, and it's just going to give you some peace of mind. And the other thing that I think is really important is, as much as you can, as soon as you can, get some insurance going. And I mean, like, if you're renting, get some renters insurance. If you own a home, obviously insure as much as you can. Make sure you've got decent auto insurance. Um, these are important because it protects your assets, it protects what you have. And I have seen so many things happen this last year with bad weather and flooding, snowstorms, all kinds of crazy. In California, as you know, if you're listening in California or other parts of our country, we've had hurricanes, tornadoes, snowstorms, flooding, like massive flooding, like you can't believe, that we haven't had in 100 years, and it's hit us this last year. And so having that insurance is going to help when situations like that show up. And don't depend on the other, there's different organizations that can help somewhat. That's not going to give you all the help that you're going to need in certain situations. So try to get as much insurance as you can, even if it's something small. It's better than nothing, because it'll give you that space that you need should something show up or happen that requires a repair. You could have, gosh, a kitchen pipe or something could break, and there you go. That's easy 20, 30,000. And if you don't have it, it's not a good day. So the insurance really helps with that. Now, if you want to get out of debt fast, the other thing to do is to really stop the spending. And if that means putting Prime on hold, or changing the way you shop, or just really curtailing the shopping for a while, it's going to make such a difference in the long run. That short term adjustment is not going to be forever. That I can promise you. And when you get to the other side of it, you're going to be empowered and have leverage to be able to, maybe you want to leave your job, or change your work situation, or build a bigger business, or reinvest in your business if you have a business more. And this will buy you that time and leverage that you need. Now, on the spiritual side of things, feng shui is a powerful tool for clearing your space, and also for attracting positive energy. And as woo woo and out there as that sounds, I believe there is something to do with this energetic flow. Uh, and I have been guilty of collecting things over the years, raising a large family, and uh, all that. So it's easy to collect things, and start right now by decluttering your home and get rid of anything that no longer serves you. So this is not only going to clear the energy, If you want to, be religious and spiritual about it, it may be cleanliness is next to godliness, or it could be. Um, it doesn't have to be a minimalist because I am absolutely a maximalist. but at the same time, there are things in your house. Most of those listening in, not everybody, that you're done with, and you may never ever use them again, and they are sitting there and they are now worth something. Maybe not a lot, but they're in your way. I mean, just cleaning them, maintaining them, paying for somebody to help you clean because there's too much stuff everywhere, or what have you. It's just all that, or just draining your energy because it's in your way. I mean, I don't know. For me, I can work better in a clear space. If my I have to have my desk clear and everything like in a peaceful place in order to really focus and concentrate at my best. I mean, I can concentrate and focus in other environments, but my preferred way to get things done is really to have things clean and neat and ready to go. So that will save a lot of time, it'll save money, and so go ahead and use your feng shui, if you want to call it that, and marry your feng shui to your eBay account. That's right, turn your junk into money in your trunk. It's an easy way to make some extra cash and get rid of clutter at the same time. That's always a good way to start, because that money alone, you'll be surprised, that could build a really decent savings, like a little nest egg for emergencies at least. And it can also relieve you. I mean, you could clear a whole room to rent out if you're up for that, and not everybody is, but if you wanted to, or just that could give you some money toward your savings, and it could also give you that money to pay debt down. And I guess with inflation, you might actually do pretty good if you got things on sale. I'm not sure, but try it out. That is one way that most people can start. You probably don't need 100 power tools if you're not a contractor. And many of us have duplicates. We have arts and crafts. We have scrapbooks. We have projects and hobbies that we did once love, and now we're kind of done with them. Different season in our life. Do we really need that? And can that produce the income you need to give you to pay down your debts, to clear your mortgage, to clear a car payment, or help pay down one of your kids' college loans, or yours? So these are things to think about, and it's all up to you, because you get to design your savings and your financial house on your terms. Now, rebooting your finances and up leveling in every area of your life is possible. Using the Boots formula to guide you on your journey. Remember who you are being, your orientation, the order of operations, and thinking, all that, how you're thinking, then stepping up into your new life, into that new lifestyle that you're creating. These are all crucial to your success. Start taking action today and watch your life transform. Now, there's going to be something else. And this is something I really love. And everybody has their thing that they love to invest in. And for me, I have been an investor in properties and real estate since I was 18 years young. So that is my preferred way to invest. Do I have money in stocks? Do I buy stocks? Yes, I do. And with a lot of study, work, and working with trusted investors, I do. But at the same time, the majority of my investments and passive income comes from property investing and investing wisely. And so I am a licensed agent. I do work with people in many different ways. I lead a real estate course for real estate agents whether you're a newer agent or you just need some accountability and to be able to keep going through these changing times in the real estate industry. I do have a mastermind that I have created. I have led this mastermind at different real estate companies, and now I am offering a special mastermind that is open to all licensed real estate agents, and that is just for agents. That's a weekly mastermind that really will help you, you and if you have a team, you and your team to be accountable and to get through all the changes that are happening these days in real estate. I also go into how to build your own finances as a real estate agent if you are an agent or know an agent. Um, Being in real estate is a wonderful thing when you make your commissions, but it is also an interesting thing when you don't. And if you look at a regular 12-month year, especially when you're starting out, for those listening and have a license, getting a license, when you're starting out, if you don't have another income, that's a tough one because it may take a little while for people to know what you're doing and for you to start getting clients or earn your clients and create the relationships and just figure out, do the training and know what you're doing. And so it is really important that we support each other through that. And the mastermind helps. We work on finances, we work on creating wealth through the real estate industry business. However, we also work on our own investing and the use of 1031 exchanges to invest up. So it's kind of a fun, kind of a cash flow game, but at the same time, it's an accountability group. So if you are a licensed agent or have licensed agents you know that are looking for some more support in that area, then have them go to my website, and that's SheilaMack.com, and there you will see a special link, and that is a special link for real estate agents only. Now, I also have another group starting up. It is a weekly live mastermind plus personalized actionable steps to help you through the profitable steps of business or career and life integration to help you live your best life. The focus on helping you have success while finding financial freedom. This mastermind meets live weekly, and there is a 6-month minimum commitment. Although it is very affordable. This is not a crazy expensive mastermind that I've created, especially during these times. It's very affordable. However, I do ask for a 6-month minimum commitment because it's going to take that time in order to really create the lifestyle, career, business, life integration that you wish for and real financial freedom and abundance. So invest in yourself and your family with this low-cost, high-value mastermind. Give yourself financial peace and the gift of time for those who matter most. So if you're looking to create abundance in all areas of your life, including your finances, then join me. It is called the LifeWorks Financial Abundance Mastermind Program. This mastermind group is designated to help you. It is for the integration of your business or career with your personal life so that you can live your best life and not only achieve financial abundance and freedom, but also to create the abundance in all areas of your life. And that goes back to how one thing goes into every other area. If you have this abundance in your health, it's going to give you more energy to create more wealth. And that will create more abundance in your relationships, in your family, in your social life, in your spiritual life. And so this is a LifeWorks Abundance Mastermind program. It's how you create the life that works for you. And it is an integration where you're able to enjoy all the areas of your life integrated, and you'll see how success will grow exponentially as you create the lifestyle that life works for you on your terms. As you create it in one area, it is going to spill over into the other area. So the program includes personalized actionable steps to help you through the profitable um, ways that you, your business, and your career can work together. As well as this weekly live mastermind has meetings to keep you on track and provide support and guidance. It has a focus on helping you have success while finding financial freedom, life freedom, love freedom, and it is again low cost to you. The next group starts in May, and there is a 6-month minimum commitment. So I do look forward to learning more about the different courses, masterminds, and programs I am offering now. Many of them are opening up as our second quarter has started. And so we have new openings and a new run starting. So go ahead and look if you are interested. Take a look over on my website, and that is at SheilaMac.com, SheilaMac.com. Now, don't wait any longer. Join one of the programs or a program or get a book and start reading and start creating, journaling, writing, and building the life you've always wanted. Again, you can visit SheilaMac.com to learn more and sign up today. Remember, the only thing standing between you and your success is your willingness to take action. There's times in all of our lives where we had a great deal of financial abundance, but we were still kind of leaning on that wrong wall because we were lacking in the other areas of life. And so this show, and when I talk about creating financial abundance, it's not about chasing. It's not about chasing the financial abundance and giving up your life and giving up time with who matters most in your life. It's not about that. That's not the goal. And it is about lifestyle integration. It's about creating abundance in your financial life so that that financial abundance can give you the time and the ability to have the freedom and the peace that you desire for yourself and for those that matter most in your life. And so I wanted to be really clear about that. And one of the things that happens quite often whenever we get on the topic of money is people have different ideas or negative ideas about what money is, and it's almost, well, it really is something that is buried in our subconscious mind based on how we were raised. And so the mindset for creating financial abundance is one of the most important pieces. If you don't fix the mindset to align with your true life desires, you will end up round and round with the same financial discrepancies or lack of abundance in areas of your life. So that is something that is super important, and I get very deep into that. But I also make sure, as you heard the little beep I had to plug in, make sure that we, as a group here on the show, for my listeners here, are able to also take the steps and do the work. So there's the mental work, the mindset work, and then there's also the actual getting the money, saving the money, balancing your budget, all that good stuff that comes with it that needs to be done. So, as we talk about financial abundance, we're not just talking about that money. Keep that in mind. See, each area of our life works together. If one area is out of balance, it can affect all the other areas. The example is if we're struggling with our health, it can be difficult to focus on our career or relationships. And if we're feeling unfulfilled in our career, it can affect our happiness and overall well-being. And just think about a bad relationship. That can cost a lot of money, a lot of time. And if you've ever had one of those, holy smokes, that can really burn up the finances and every other area of your life. So, the same goes for our finances. Right now, if you're struggling with money, if career shifts have happened, which a lot of people are facing right now, it can cause stress and anxiety, which can affect the relationships you have, your health, your overall happiness. And so, the most important thing in creating financial abundance is to start with that shifting of your mindset. You need to move away from the scarcity mindset and toward an abundant mindset. This means believing that there is enough to go around and that we are deserving of this financial abundance. So, I do love the station and the short news that we get on the hour every hour. If you are tuned into the NBC KCAA radio, it's nice to have some news. It's nice to know what's going on in the world. To a certain extent, we all need to know. But then if you get wrapped around it too much and you start watching social media an hour long or a few hours a day of news, that gets into your mind and it really pulls you out of the abundance mindset, the energy of abundance. It like unplugs the abundance when you're stuck in that loop. Because yeah, oh my gosh, you could listen to some news and the world might be coming to an end based on what it's the way it's portrayed in one way or the other, and it could get you concerned, but that's not going to change anything. Worry is not going to change anything. Action, mindset, and then taking that massive action is going to make all the difference. So once we've shifted the mindset, then you need to take action. And this means creating a budget, setting the financial goals, and making smart investments. Right now, if you're just starting out, smart investments could look really different. It could just be investing in your own savings at this moment in your emergency funds. It could just be really basic investing. It doesn't matter. Or it could be really big investing. And so it's based on your circumstances and it's very individualized. So, cutting out the cup of coffee, if that's the only pleasure you have right now, may not be the thing to do. And it may be the thing to do if it really would make that big of a difference for you. So that's something that is individualized and will change as you start to apply the steps. It's going to make some big changes in your life. And the thing that happens is it doesn't just go step by step when you're reorganizing your finances and rebuilding. It doesn't go like one day, you're at a certain budget or limit, or income is coming in at a certain point, and then the next day you're going to get $1 billion. It's not going to happen that fast. Well, it could, but most of the time there's a lot of work behind all that. And so that is where it might feel slow, but it is insane, but it's so real. I've seen it with so many of my clients that I've worked with, and just in my own life, um, going through different things in my life where I've had to start over and dust myself up, and like my book, pull myself up by my bootstraps and bra straps. Woo, and you take it, you take a deep breath and you dust yourself off, and you got to start back at the start again. And that's okay, because you'll realize that it happens really fast. And this energetic that you put into it, it spills into the other areas of your life. It shows up. It's like you're fixing your finances, and all of a sudden you start to get into better health and fitness, or you start cleaning and organizing your house because you're getting rid of your junk and selling it and moving on, or to a different space, or organizing your space at the same time. And that money gives you peace that you got from whatever you sold, but it also created space, and that space creates energy, and that energetic difference creates more abundance and more peace at your home. And it doesn't matter what your home is like at this moment. I go back to my 2017 when my house burned down. And at the same time, I had a building that was vacant. And so I ended up staying at the little semi apartment section in a big warehouse. And then finally getting back on track over creating a vacation rental and living in a very small piece of the home and renting everything else out, and rebuilding from there, and then being able to finally buy and get back into a nice space, even better, nicer than I could ever have imagined. So that went quick once I started to do the steps. And I made even the small area and the vacation rental. I got the super host badge. People had their wedding in my little this little prefab house I ended up getting for pennies. And I had designed it beautifully, and it was all about design and what I provided that made it really nice, even though it was such a humble place. And so, repeat visitors and making a great income that really helped me out at that moment. So there are some ways, and that's not the only way, and that is not just the option. There's lots of options on how to recreate abundance in your life. But the example I was giving really was more about how to create that energy. It's about, no matter how humble the environment is where you're at right now, or wherever you're starting over from. Maybe you've experienced one of the many disasters. We've had lots of weather situations across the US and the world with global warming or whatever that's going on, where our weather has had a lot of catastrophes and floods, fires, just some crazy things. And snow, people getting buried in the snow 12 feet above their home, or 12 feet high, so they can't get out of their home. These are some times. And so when you're starting over, or have to maybe move out of your home for a second, or get a new place because of a situation like that, mine was a fire, it happens. And I almost feel like, gosh, if you live long enough, and you're lucky to live long enough in this life, there's going to be times that are reorganizing times. And you feel like it's a rock bottom. you feel like, oh my gosh, what the heck just happened to my home or my whatever it is, my business or the business I've worked at for so many years is gone. I mean, I know 30 businesses that were in business for 30 plus years in California that went out with the pandemic. And they went out within the first 6 months. They were gone and they didn't come back. They didn't want to come, they were done. And so they got to reorganize. And one of the things that I study that really is aligned with the energetics is I love the work of Donnie Epstein. He is an energetic chiropractic healer. And he talks about how when things happen in life and we're rebuilding and reorganizing, things do have to sometimes fall apart in order to reorganize to something even better, better than you could imagine. And that is exactly what happened with me. When I lost that house, I lost the house, I lost the car, I lost a cat. It was a lot all at once, and and then I had a tenant out. I mean, it was just everything at once, and I was sent to a new area, Beverly Hills, and now a beautiful vacation home. And I didn't imagine that I would be sent to such beautiful places, but that's how it happened. And it took that time to be open and to keep the energy. Oh, I had to force that stuff the first few days. I had to get into a new habit of how I used my mind, my mindset, and my affirmations and my prayers, my meditations, my practice, my daily habits of getting up and making things as beautiful as I could in the environment for the energy. And that, I mean, how do you? I paid $36,000 for this prefab home, added a couple of walls, and had different entrance ways so everybody had their own private space. And I made it gorgeous on a. I mean, I should have filmed the whole thing because people would have loved to see how I creatively figured that out. I did have lots of experience from my stores working with the designers and also doing home design. So I did have that skill and talent to make things that you would never think you could make look beautiful, beautiful. And I did buy up in a hill where it was this gorgeous nature retreat. And so that's where people spent the money to vacation there. And it was the environment. Uh, and it went fast. It was even the car. I ended up with this sideways driving borrowed car that was, oh, it needed more work. The cost to fix it was more than what was owed. It was upside down on what was owed. It was one of the kids' cars, and that I was borrowing, and then I'd have to rent a car to do my real estate work. Rent a nicer car to take clients out, and so that within 2 months, I was able to get into a nice car that a pre-owned Mercedes with miles that is beautiful. And I actually, it was like it manifested itself. And it had a lot to do with the mindset to be open minded and to just go with that energy. So here I am with this sideways driving crazy. I mean, like literally, I think there was something wrong with the alignment. I'm not good with cars, but I took it in and it cost too much to fix. And so I got the brakes to work and I got it cleaned. I got it waxed and cleaned, and I put on a steering wheel cover. I put stickers that I got at the dollar store on the visor to remind myself to stay in that state, in that mental place, that happy mental place, or the abundance space. I had to do that because it was kind of a down time. I mean, it was about 2 months that it took for that fire to come out, to be put out. That Ventura fire, it was huge. And so there's still smoke. People are still struggling and looking at me like I've lost my mind because I'm making this this car look beautiful. And then the next thing you know, I'm manifested into the best car for my needs, for my job, and at that time for me. So I actually was renting cars, and the rental car that I rented was like this Mercedes SUV, and it broke down. And you think, "Ugh, I'm gonna just give up now." It's hot. California, it was hot, and the car breaks down. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and on my phone, it used to be that you'd get ads that were sent to you, and I don't know if it still happens, but an ad came on, and it was like, if you test drive this car, you will actually get $75 in a Visa card for groceries. And that's what I and since my car broke down, I was able to pretty much get right over there. It was only a few blocks away to a dealership, and I had broke the car broke down in a place that was so weird. It was like I would never be in that neighborhood. Really, for my work, it was just a detour because of all that was going on and traffic. And I wouldn't be looking for the car that was advertised, that I needed to test drive for the $75. But I said, it is 4:44 on the clock. I called the Turo owner, the car owner that I had rented the car from, and he arranged to get the car taken care of. And once the AAA people showed up, I handed over the keys, and I went over to that dealership thinking, well, I had a reschedule with my client, and I might as well make the best of it and at least get the $75 to drive this car that I don't want because I'm close, and it showed up. And I said, I need to be open minded. I need to be open minded because how are the blessings and the abundance going to show up if I'm not open to stepping out and going with the flow of things? So I went over there, and on that lot, there was a beautiful Mercedes, and then there was another type of car that was not the style or type that I would drive for my work, which was kind of the point, because renting cars is like 10 times what what you would pay for a car payment. And it's just you're losing so much money doing that over the long time. And so I told the sales guy, I said, hey, that's the car I need because of my business, because of what I do. That's the one I need right there. Can you get me into that car for this price? And can I get that can I get that $75 for the groceries? And so I test drove the other cars and got the $75 gift card. And actually, because that Mercedes was like a mistake, you might want to call it, was a gift, in the sense that that dealership didn't sell that style of car, and that whole area was not really, they didn't have Mercedes cars there. That wasn't a luxury kind of a place. And so um they had purchased the car. They, I guess they got a good deal, and they sold it to me for 6,000 below the blue book cost. And they gave me the credit, which my credit had been taken out with the loss of the house and the loss of the fire, and all these things that came up. um Staying in hotels. It was just, this is what happens when you have a natural disaster or a fire like that. And so luckily I was approved, and I got into that car, and I did. I was so happy and thankful and grateful, in tears all the way home, in gratitude. And I thought, wow, look at how fast that manifested. And then with some sales. I did some uh, real estate sales in my office, and did some other things with clients, and I was able to pay that car off in just a few months, um, sticking with my goal to be debt free, especially after all that. And so that's how things kind of show up when you think. I mean, that sounded kind of impossible. At the moment, it felt impossible, but is it impossible or is it I am possible? I am possible. And I needed to step. I could have said, "Well, I don't want that kind of car. I don't want to go to that dealership. I'm not interested. I'm not interested, and I don't want to." Maybe it's humbling yourself enough to say, "Oh yeah, I could really use the groceries right now," and going and taking those steps, and knowing that those are the first steps. And I believe the universe, God's source, um, provides for our highest and best good at all time. Now you can create your own mantra. That was one that I created that I just would say after that experience. I thought, oh my gosh, look at this. The universe has conspired. God has conspired for my highest and best good. It made no sense to me to have lost that home I worked so hard for. It made no sense to me to have the loss of the cat, and it's the best cat I ever had. Such a loving little thing. And the car. I had a nice, it was actually a hybrid, Lexus hybrid car that I was really happy. I had bought it maybe 6 months earlier, and I'd never buy new cars. I buy nice cars with low mileage, and I get a good deal. And I'll teach you how to do that. And it is still possible. I never buy something brand new just because it doesn't really pencil. I would prefer to invest that in a property that would cash flow or another investment product. So, cars just depreciate. So that's just always been my thing with the cars. And so, anyway, it's just you have the nicest thing you can have, and then you take care of it and you keep it as nice as you can. Now, when you want a new one, you just go trade it in and you get a new one. But um, it's just you're going to save so much money that way. And like I said, I did get out of the debt quickly, which made me happy about that. So that is a little bit about abundance and my personal story, my personal journey, and how mindset matters, how taking those steps, leaps, it's actually faith. It's having the faith to take the steps when the doors open to walk through them and not question, why am I walking through this door? It doesn't make sense, because it's not going to make sense. My friends literally told me that I was crazy to buy that little prefab house up in the hills for 36,000 because it was ridiculous and I should just go get a job. And I said, "No, I have done this. I have purchased properties, refurbished properties, rented them out, done exchanges. I'm licensed. I mean, I've done this since I was 18, and I have children that are older than 18." So I was like, no, just this, I know. So when you know what you're doing, that's a big piece too. When you don't know what you're doing, don't do it, because you don't know what you're doing. I knew what I was doing. I knew my budget. I knew I had working crews that I kept busy with, homes because of my real estate work and clients. So they were happy to work a very fair negotiated deal to help me get things set up. And so, I knew that that was going to work for me. But I also knew that like the back of my, I know real estate and investing like the back of my hand. That's easy for me. Now, you could really get burned if you don't know, because it's what you don't know, you don't know. That's what really hurts. You know it's true, and I've and it's a wonderful way to learn, but it's not the best way to learn. It's the painful way, and so that's yeah. Don't do that unless you're working with some people that can help you. And I do have a course actually that is it's on a wait list right now. It'll be opening soon, and that is a very affordable course for new. It's actually for new home buyers going all the way through investing. We go step by step through the process. I've been teaching for many years. I've taught real estate agents how to invest as they earn their commissions, and how to build their own financial house so they can retire at some point when they're ready to leave that industry. And so I've just started a new course now that is coming out. I'm really excited about it because I'm actually going over to look at it now here. It is really for people that are starting out, and I call it the Property for Profits course. Our next course is an 8-week long course, and it starts May 18th, 2023. And this is as a seasoned investor and licensed agent with 20 plus years experience. And the plus is a plus plus, but we won't get into my age. I take you by the hand and I simplify the property investment process. So you can learn about that course and my other masterminds at SheilaMac.com.
Have you lost your job? Have you lost a loved one? Are you exhausted caring for your parents, for your kids? Well, you can find immediate relief when you read Sheila Mac's new #1 bestseller, Bootstraps and Bra Straps. It contains the Boots formula to move from rock bottom back into action in any situation, especially right now. If life has knocked you down, pick yourself up with Bootstraps and Bra Straps. Get your copy at www.SheilaMac.com today.
Tune in again right here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.